get this started, let's send it over to Jenny, and she's going to talk to us about our one word and help us understand the value of having one word. Take it away, Jenny.
So
she said
anyway, so maybe my one word for today should be organized, but that's okay. It's been one of those. So talking about one word, so put it in the chat, how many of you actually do New Year's, like start the beginning of the year with a whole bunch of things you're going to do, the whole lose weight and, you know, eat better, exercise, I don't know, phone off the phone. Okay. I used to do that all the time. And I don't know why, because sometimes all that stuff lasted a day, sometimes it lasted a week. If I was really rocking and rolling, it lasted maybe a month, but it didn't last long. However, in high school, I lived with a family that did it every year. So they spent all day on New Year's. Every year, they would get a new journal and write down what they were going to change about themselves and about what they did at work and things like that all day long on New Year's. And now the good thing about that is it helped me start journaling, because they would buy me a journal every year for Christmas. And I was supposed to be writing that stuff down too, except I was in high school. I didn't care. I wasn't going to change anything. I liked it the way it was. But I would write because it made them feel better and I looked like I was doing something. So that kind of thing I love. And I do love to journal. And a few years ago, I was introduced through Tupperware to John Gordon and his one-word training. Now, that makes a whole lot more sense to me, because it's one word that you get to pick for the year that is going to help you realize your mission, okay, and your meaning, what you want to do for the year. And it's not a whole list of things that you're going to change or a whole bunch of things that you think you can get better at. It's one word to focus on and help you through the whole year, just bring you back to what was important to you when you picked that word. Now, I've had a whole lot of words over the years, okay? I have done purpose. I had to do purpose because when people asked me what my why was, it drove me crazy. And whenever I got thinking about it, I could work around that by saying that I knew what my purpose was, okay? Because I wasn't sure I had a why, I wasn't sure how that worked. But the purpose I could figure out. Some of my other words over the years have been journey, and enough. That was a fun one because nobody but me understood it, and that was okay. I was the only person that needed to understand it. It was my word. One year my word was just breathe, and that was because it was a rough year and I just needed to breathe, and that was a really important word to me that year. That was probably the year that I decided that the one word was something I definitely needed to do every year. Now, a lot of times your word will just come to you and you'll hear somebody say something and you'll think, that would be a great word for the year. I can really identify with that all year long. Sometimes it's a struggle. And, you know, you'll get to the first part of the year and people go, did you pick your word for the year? And maybe you haven't. And that's okay, because it's a word for a year. So if you don't have it at midnight on January 1st, you still have time. And you just need to find something that's going to be, that speaks to you. Like, I have a whole list of words right now that I'm trying to pick from. But what I've realized of the ones that I have right now is that nothing is jumping out at me, so to speak. So I'm not even sure that those words are anything I'm going to end up with, but I know I will end up with one. Now, if you're not sure what kind of word to pick, you can actually Google motivational words, and the first thing that comes up is a list of 200 motivational words in alphabetical order. You might not like any of them, but they will give you ideas on, you know, what you might want to do. And it might be something totally off the wall, okay? Might not be a motivational word to anybody but you. All right, I remember one year, one of my friends, her word for the year was children. Children is not necessarily a motivational word, but she wanted to remember all year long to be grateful for her children, to spend more time with her children, and to understand them a little bit better. So that was a great word for her. It could be a great word for anybody. Some of the ones I'm working on this year that maybe or maybe not work for me. I'm looking at grace, authentic, strength, values, and create. So those are some of my choices, but like I said, I'm not real sure. See, Joni says her word is gonna be authentic. And it's a great word. It's a great word, and we can share words. That's the best thing about words, is everybody can have them. Okay, Chris, right now I'm heading towards me, and that is for real, okay? So I will tell you that one of the things I have learned with the words and just in the course of being in Tupperware is we don't spend enough time appreciating ourselves and doing things for ourselves. Because a lot of us have grown up in a world where we do for us, okay? Your family, you do for the neighbors, you do for the church. And by the time you get around to doing for yourself, you're so tired, yourself to go to bed. So me is a great word, Chris, and it will get you a long ways this year. And take these words, it's like a dream board, okay? Put the word somewhere where you can see it, where you're going to see it every day, multiple times a day. I have it written in notebooks that I know I'm going to look at. I used to put it on my dashboard in my car. I don't do that anymore. I drive Jim's truck more than I drive my car, and I'm not sure he wants my word on his dashboard, but that's okay. Just a lot of places where you can see it and remind yourself, because there's going to be days that you're not there, okay? It's not going well. You're not making it happen. And if you can see that word, you can remember that that's what you're striving for, okay? So I just want you guys to know this is something that's super simple to do. It's not a long list of things that you have to feel bad about 2 or 3 weeks into the year because you didn't quite make it happen. And it's just an easy way to remind yourself that you are worth the effort to go through the year doing something for yourself and working with that word to do what it is you wanted to accomplish when you picked it, okay? The year that I picked enough, people were like, what does that mean? Does it mean you've had enough? Does it mean enough is enough? What does it mean? No, it meant that the enough was I needed to be enough for myself. I needed to quit letting other people tell me who I needed to be, what I needed to be, what I needed to be doing, because I was enough just the way I was and being who I wanted to be. I didn't explain that to everybody, but I knew what it was, okay? And it was a super good year. And I want you guys to have a great year too. So write down your word, find it, take your time picking it, no big rush. And here's the other thing. You're allowed to change it because it's your word. So if you get halfway through the year or a few months in and it's not working for you, or something else pops up and all of a sudden you think that should have been it, make that it, okay? So you guys, you got 3 weeks until the new year. You got a lot of time to Google, to look at words, to listen to people. And if you haven't had a chance, Google or go to YouTube and check out John Gordon's one-word training. They're anywhere from 47 seconds to 30 minutes long. I mean, there's a bunch of them. And it's worth every second that you put into it to listen to what he says about how well it works and about how it's worked for his family and his business. So that's it, guys. Find your word and let's make it happen as a team. Maybe we can pick a team word. If you have a unit, word. Champion's a great word just as a word, but we could do a company word and just focus on it all year long. Do a family word too. That's helpful.